But away from that, as part of the Let's Make Accra Work Agenda, Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Kote has engaged government officials within the capital to conclude consultations for a bylaw to enhance compliance with the road traffic regulations. Now, the bylaw, according to the regional minister, will ensure road regulations for motorbike riders are enforced and address the issue of abandoned vehicles on the street. So he posted this on his Twitter while asking this question: what are your thoughts on the bylaw to ban Aboboyaa from using the highways and principal streets in the Greater Accra region? We'll go to Twitter and check out what people are saying. But before that, let's go to Kaneshi, where Enimwa spoke to the Informal Waste Workers Association.
John Bosco with me, and also in Nsibila. John Bosco is the secretary for the Informal Waste Workers Association, and in Nsibila is also the secretary for the Okankwe South Workers Association. So, John, you've heard about the fact that there are plans to take the Aboboyas off some of the streets. What do you think about that?
Really, if they are taking Aboboyaa out of the street, it's not going to be good, because the waste in Accra here in particular is too much. Even though as we are many, we are collecting the waste, still there's more waste, which even took gutters and even on the street. So taking Aboboyaa out from the system is not really good. And it's going to give Accra a big problem, because the contractors, they can't do all the work, because there's some particular areas that the big trucks cannot go inside. So the Aboboyaa used to go to that lungu, then take the waste.
Okay. In Nsibila, let me ask you, so it's not that the Aboboyas are being taken off the streets completely, but the minister or the bylaw will not allow you to use some streets. So, for example, some of the major streets. So you can use, some of the lungus and all of that. Do you think that will affect your ability to do your work properly?
Oh, probably. It can affect us, but somehow it can affect us in such a way that no matter how that you go to the areas that a big car cannot enter, once you pick the baller out, you must pass that street away to where you can dump it. So that only that point that will affect us. But if they stop us not to go to traffic or go to roadside and pick all the baller there, we can accept it. But if you pick the baller at the houses finish, you must pass way to where you can down. And that's the same street that you can pass.
Okay, John, so over the past few years, since Aboboyas have really become popular, a lot of drivers have complained about how your people drive on the streets. A bit unruly, stopping at all places. And some of the highways, you're supposed to go fast, but the Aboboyas can't go fast, so they are causing traffic and all of that. Which is why the minister or this law will take you off the streets. Do you think that there's anything that you can do to stay on the streets without causing problems for the rest of the drivers and the pedestrians?
Oh, there's a way, because some of our boys, because of they come to Accra, they don't have any work to do, then they get found out to start picking the waste. So we need education. If the minister can organize us and have education to educate us on how to use the route, because some don't even know how to use the route.
Now let's go to the minister's Twitter page, and he was asking for some of your views. What are your thoughts on the bylaw to ban Aboboyaa from using the highways and principal streets in the Greater Accra region? Let's go to Kweku, who says Aboboyaa operators must also be registered into a program that allows them freedom to collect waste anywhere in Accra, but ensure that they dispose of their waste at approved disposal points or transfer stations. Okay, at Kwesi, who says, Honorable, I stay at OEB. Please, I want to know if it is part of your focus area. Okay, so people are also posting and tweeting about their needs in the various areas. At Al_Bator, it says, banning them is not going to solve the road issues being caused by so many other road users. Just enforce road traffic regulations. Some of them overload, some do not have side mirrors, and some overspeed. Just banning things does not solve problems. At Michael, Jojo Michael says, sir, why do we allow people to sell on the streets and our bus stop has now been turned into a market? What are you going to do about that? He's asking a question. He's asking the minister a question. Pascal says, please, I think you should rather create a bylaw to stop the long vehicles from working in the afternoon and rather move at dawn when the roads are free. Thanks, that's my humble appeal. While at the 6th comes in to respond and he says, I think the law is already in effect except it is not being enforced. I stand to be corrected. Okay. Abdul says, that's a nice one. Like I said earlier on, we need to plan very well. Looking a bit into the distant future, what I think we must be looking at now in the short, medium terms is numbers. We should devise a way of controlling the numbers in the main cities. At Braco Minta says, it is true, the fewer we have, the easier to be monitored and controlled. Currently, hundreds are cleared from our ports weekly and duly registered by their owners. At Nana Ode says, any alternative routes for them? She's asking, or he's asking. Because Ghana here, we mostly depend on the major roads to transport our goods and services. If it's not going to put people out of business and they can still operate effectively, carting our mothers and wives' goods to home and markets, then he thinks it's not a problem. The last one I'm taking is from Optimum_Desire, who says, who will pick our bola? Who will distribute the sachet water? Do you have an alternative? If not, which route will the Aboboyaa use to various landfill sites should this bylaw take effect? At the 6th, well, he seems to be responding to a lot of these tweets, and he says, not to downplay your thoughts, but how were these things being handled when we didn't have the said Aboboyaa? It is a matter of availability and use. If a cheaper vehicle that can substitute comes, people will convert that to transporting the sachet water and the refuse. So that's what people are talking about on Twitter. What are your thoughts on the bylaw to ban Aboboyaa from using the highways and principal streets in Greater Accra region?